In this video, I'm going to tackle some clutter in our main living room area. I am going to set a 10-minute timer. I have a channel that I particularly like that has timers and motivating or calming and relaxing music. So I am putting that on my own television. You'll hear that in the background for a couple of clips in this video, and just gave myself 10 minutes to make it better. A 10-minute tidy up. However it is at the end of 10 minutes is good enough for today. I'll leave you a link for this particular 10-minute timer in the description box below, but I do want to say something about simple living. Sometimes when you follow certain accounts on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook who are minimalists or have a practice of simple living, they make it look simple and easygoing. It's not. The point of simple living for me, from my perspective, is to uncomplicate the complicated parts of my home and my life. And for me today, I had to focus on something that I could do within 10 minutes that gave me a little bit of a stress relief and a sense of control on clutter. This room is very often used. We spend a lot of time in here, and that is the point. It's why I made it cozy. It's where my family gathers, and we have some practical applications that we use this room for as well, like television, movie night. The kids' computer is in here. I do my work in here. That coffee table actually pops up as desk. So this room gets often used, and the clutter today is not bad because we do this kind of 10-minute tidy up every single day and do our best. Not every room is as easy to tidy up and clean. In fact, our hallway still has the table that I took out of here and some mess just from this week. We weren't in the house on Thursday and Friday, so we never ended up cleaning up those days. So, life happens, and that's the point of simple living, is to uncomplicate it and make it easy on yourself. And normally I have the kids clean up their own toys and do this. I'm just doing it for the purposes of this video today. Looks like Barbie and Iron Man decided to form an alliance and have a baby, a Play-Doh baby and a dog in a house. So I guess this is their house. The floor had less than 10 random toys that just needed to go back onto their toy shelf. I have 8 clear bins that I got from the Container Store. They are lidless and clear, so it's easy for the kids to identify which bin each toy needs to go into, and they can also take a bin and go play with it somewhere else in the house or just play with it in this room. And so I've got them, I think 6 of the 8 are actually labeled, and it's easy for them to sort and pick up their toys and put them away. These 8 bins here represent 8 main categories of toys, like Magnetiles or Duplo or K'NEX. And then the kids just build and play. They're kind of open-ended toys, and then they have toys in their bedroom as well. All 3 of my kids are big into Legos, so they have Legos in the room, and then they have these Lego kits here assembled in our living room and as well. So you could use Ziploc bags, anything. I just cut the cover of the box. I used an excessive amount of tape. I tape on all 4 sides. And then the instruction book and the Legos. I have tried toy rotation in the past, and then I just never remember what other toys they had. So all the toys that they own are available to them here in this living room, on the toy shelf, in the Lego bins, or up in their bedrooms. That's it. It's simpler for me that it's all out and about and available. So let's cut that out. The cover. This will go in recycling. It fits. And then I just tape it on. These little bags, I order them from Amazon when I organize Legos like this. We've been making a very intentional effort to keep Lego kits together now that they're older. I also have Lego dump bins under our other couch, and that's just for all the miscellaneous Legos that don't have a home in a kit. They end up there. But these are great because I could grab a bag for a kid for a doctor's appointment. And so I have two right now that are for Lego, and then one that's for me, for my Bible stuff. We were heading out for the afternoon, and I knew I could really only tackle about 10 minutes of something. And so I chose the living room, and I chose a 10-minute timer, and I chose to just reset it, tidy everything up, and put it away. If I had extra time, I was going to run the vacuum in here. I didn't have time to dust or do the windows. I didn't have that kind of time. But I wanted to be able to come back later in the day, having done something, walking into one space that had been reset. The rest of the house still needed my attention because that's just life. And I don't like rotate rooms or anything. I just pick something for that day that could use something. And sometimes I have the motivation and the energy to do an hour. Sometimes I have the motivation to do 5 minutes. This day I set a goal of 10 minutes and I got it done. A few years ago, I learned that I have to recognize when I'm feeling the pressure of all or nothing. And when I'm able to see that expectation that I put on myself, and then ditch it. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. 10 minutes is great. One counter is great. One drawer is great. Anything that makes a small little improvement gives me a little bit of control over the clutter in our home and just resets it back to the cozy, simple life that I am striving for. Anything like that can be like a small little win can be motivating and help you, tackle something else in your house. Or just when you know you're going to be coming home later that day after several hours of being out and you're not going to want to do anything in your house except for sit, then coming home to a tidied room is a great little 10-minute goal. Simple living does not mean things are easy or simple. It is less complicated than it used to be. And my complication is different than your complication. And my simple is different than your simple. And for me, in our living room, and I think about our living room 3.5 years ago, it was stuffed with things we didn't use, stuff I didn't even realize we owned. I had an IKEA calyx that was on the wall that had, 15 baskets in it, just stuffed with things. And over the last few years, I have learned how to prioritize my time, how to recognize that all or nothing and make sure it doesn't take over the way that I'm feeling, and to pick up on things that feel complicated and find ways to make things easier, like cordless vacuums. Make my life easier. That was a change I made about 1.5 years ago. And now when I have 10 minutes, I've made it easier on myself to make this room cleaner than it was 10 minutes prior. And for me, that is simple living. It's also a journey in sustainability and growing your own food. For me and my family, that's part of it, is not becoming farmers or owning land, because we don't. We're not farmers. We don't own land. But it is growing food that we eat, peppers and tomatoes, beautiful wildflowers that encourage pollination and pollinators and encourage the bees. And that, to me, is simple. Learning to bake my own bread instead of buying bread. It's all, in relation to the way that you feel and what a change you want and what kind of changes you want to make. And here, after 10 minutes, I've got it set beautifully. I can come home to a nice, clean, clear space. Did I get to the windows? No. Did I dust? Nope. Did I organize the toys better? I didn't. But I have 40 seconds left, and I've got an afternoon to spend with my family. And that's the point, to be able to do the things that I want to do the most, like play with my dog and spend time with my family. Thank you for watching. I think you'll also enjoy this video about simple living, and I'm really glad you shared part of your day with me today.